Tasking multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good. Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where? Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Brantley's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here in the building. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 destinations for you all this evening. Karen Hewer is officially out of jail. We'll talk about that. Mr. Beast, he is launching potentially a new company. Wait till you hear about that. My hometown, Little Rock, Arkansas, got some love from Travel and Leisure, so of course we'll give them some love as well. Spirit Airlines, round 2 of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We'll get to that. Stephen A. Smith launched some new shows. We'll get into that. Wendy Williams has made an announcement on what she would like to do with the rest of her time here in terms of her career, and something about politics. It's always something. With that being said, higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is a me. Hey, everybody, as the fireworks are going off behind us here. Before we get started, I just want to say this. Martell Holt's a piece of shit. It is no surprise that he did what he did. Like, in the words of Melody Cherie, why are y'all surprised? Sincerely. You say that you were ready to be done with Melody, this, that, and the third, but yet you did what you did. So that goes to show that the woman you have in the words announced, the butler from the name, we're still waiting for the DNA results. She really ain't shit if you still concerned about your ex-wife. So that's my take on that. With that being said, let's get to these destinations because we got 7 destinations for you all this evening. Yes, indeed, we do. So let's get to it with this right here. Karen Huger, everybody, from MediaTakeout.com. Karen Huger released from jail today. Bravo cameras filming. Real Housewives of Potomac's Karen Huger released from prison. Bravo cameras rolling. The Grand Dame of Potomac is back on the streets, and of course, the cameras were there to catch every second of it. Media Takeout confirmed that Karen Huger, star of the Real Housewives of Potomac, was officially in prison this morning after serving just a few months behind bars. Early release, Karen, 62, was originally sentenced back in February to 2 years with 1 year suspended, plus $2,000 in fines and 5 years probation. Her early release comes as a surprise to many fans, for the Grand Dame would be behind bars much longer. But Bravo knows the storyline when they see one. Yes, they do. Multiple sources tell me to take out that production cameras were front and center as Karen walked out the correctional facility, ensuring her return will be a part of the next RHOP season. The conviction. Karen's legal trouble stemmed from a 2024 incident near Oakland Drive in Potomac, Maryland. Authorities said the Bravo star was driving her white Maserati when she lost control, striking multiple street signs and trees before finally slamming into a pole. By police cam footage later released to the public, showed Karen appearing intoxicated, slurring her speech and cursing at officers. She was later convicted of driving under the influence and several related charges. While thankfully no other vehicles were involved in the crash, it wasn't Karen's first run-in with alcohol-related driving offenses. Records show that she faced 3 other cases connected to drinking and driving in the past, though none of those resulted in jail time. And she could have had house arrest, right? She could have had house arrest. Hey, Linnell, so welcome in. She could have had house arrest, but she wouldn't want to go to jail instead. But hey, everything works out the way it needs to be. Failing by her side this morning, Karen walked free and was greeted by her husband, Ray Huger, along with the couple's 2 daughters. Witnesses say Ray appeared relieved to have his wife back home, while the Grand Dame looked emotional but determined to reclaim her child as Potomac's Grand Dame. She will always be the Grand Dame. As part of her release terms, Karen is prohibited from driving for 1 year, a restriction that will likely become a new storyline. RHOP insiders say the show is already positioning her comeback as one of the biggest arcs of the upcoming season. What's next for the Grand Dame? Well, Bravo cameras document her return. One thing is certain, Karen's release will play out as must-see TV. Whether it can turn the setback into redemption or just more messy drama remains to be seen. But either way, Karen Huger's comeback is already underway. Let me check BravoCon, because y'all know BravoCon will be happening in, I believe, November 14th through the 16th, so a 3-day weekend. So let me see if Karen Huger is coming, because I'm sure that Andy Cohen would definitely make a additional event happen with Karen Huger for the first interview. And I would actually make everybody wait for that interview. And then, of course, put that interview on Peacock. I absolutely would. Absolutely. Yes, I would. So I'm looking here right now. Trying to see if Karen Huger is coming. By the way, Britt Eady will not be at BravoCon. She was scheduled to appear, but with the lawsuit and everything, it looks like she's not going to be there. It says more coming soon. So I am not seeing Karen Huger as of yet. All the new Potomac Housewives will be there. But yeah, I'm looking right now, and I am not seeing Karen Huger. Not as of yet, but they said more announced soon, more to come. So we shall see. Now, of course, here is Karen Huger here from page 6. RHOP star Karen Huger released from prison early after serving 6 months for DUI. So there's Karen Huger in front of a Lamborghini. I'm not going to sit here in front. Karen can get it. I'm not going to sit here in front. The Grand Dame is free. The Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger has been released from prison after serving only 6 months behind bars for her 2024 DUI. A spokesperson from the Montgomery County Penitentiary exclusively tells page 6 Tuesday she has been released. So this is a throwback scene from Potomac. Huger, 62, was found guilty of DUI December 2024 after wrecking her Maserati in a high-speed crash earlier in the year. The police body cam of the reality star's arrest was released to the public. At the time, showing inebriated Huger struggling to speak and admitted to being drunk after the crash. At one point, she even referred to herself as Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Yeah, that was oh my God. Ooh, Lord. Y'all, when we watched that, right, on Brantley's Virtual Tour Live, I think we were all flabbergasted of, I know she did not say this out loud, right? And Kenya Moore entered the chat, child. Kenya Revenge P. Moore entered the chat and said, this is disrespectful to release this. And it was like, well, wasn't it disrespectful for what you did on national TV? So it's fair game, child. But anyway, while sitting in an interrogation room, while sitting in an interrogation room with a police officer who asked her questions about the incident. So the video footage is online, everybody. So this is her going to the interrogation room there. In an episode of RHOP that aired in March, the Bravo celebrity spoke about the body cam footage, saying she initially refused to watch the clip. I'm sitting there in the courtroom like I finally have to watch it. Because I kept saying, well, surely they made a mistake, right? Because everything's not connecting for me. She told her husband, Ray Huger, 79, during the scene, and I watched it. I'm telling you, I didn't recognize that woman. She continued, I did know her. Karen claims she blacked out before crashing her pricey vehicle on the side of the street. Now, listen, I need Karen Huger back on Beyond the Gates. And why is this Indian man smiling so hard? It's the small details, man. Oh, my Lord Jesus. In February, the fragrance owner was sentenced to a 2-year prison term with 1 year suspended and was immediately taken into custody by police. Karen's co-star, Giselle Brown, says she was shook after hearing that her frenemy would have to spend time behind bars. However, in April, the Love Star Hotel 54 said Karen was thriving in prison after her DUI sentencing. I have been in contact with someone that's very close to her about her safety and all that. She told Andy Cohen on an episode, Watch What Happens Live. So there is the cast there. Mia is no longer there. Candace is no longer there. Roberto Juan's roommate is no longer there. And NECA is no longer there as well. I have to say, out of all these women, Dr. Wendy, she could be Dr. Wendy Lee. I'm just saying. Moving on. From what I understand, they are loving her up where she is right now. They absolutely love her. They are loving the Grand Dame. And you know, she's running that thing. Brian added, I feel very good about the fact she saved. Karen has faced 4 driving violations since 2006. And, you know, I'm sure that there will be a NBC The More You Know campaign around drunk driving. I'm sure that will happen. Hey, Mama B, it's good to see you, gorgeous. Glad to have you here. So I'm sure that there is a drunk driving campaign on the way, and I'm glad that Karen Huger is out of jail. All right. Yes, indeed. Now, more Brantley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here, right now. Now, everybody knows Mr. Beast. If you don't know him, he is the biggest YouTube content creator with 430 million subscribers. Yeah, he's got that many subscribers. And he has done a little bit of everything, but wait till you see this. Yeah, Mr. Beast reportedly plans to launch a phone company. A phone company, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it from TechCrunch here. By the way, that is Mr. Beast at the Kids' Choice Awards. Hopefully, I'll win a Kids' Choice Award one day. Like I said, I don't know if Brandley's virtual tour will ever be nominated for a Kids' Choice Award because this is a grown show. But if I got the chance to win like best content creator at the Kids' Choice Awards, I would be extremely honored. Like, first of all, y'all shouldn't be watching this, okay? Listen, I am not Lester Holt from NBC Nightly News that does a kid edition of Brandley's virtual tour. Your parents should be watching. But I appreciate that y'all see that I'm a big kid at heart and one love, much love, all love. I feel love is in the right back to you. Kids' Choice Content Creator Awards happening next year on Nickelodeon, hosted by Brandley. Bye, everybody. I would literally say that on Nickelodeon and not give two damns about it. Because you know what's going to happen after that? Now the Kids' Choice Content Creator Awards is going to be trending all over social media, and Nickelodeon's going to be like, damn, he really said that he was going to host it. Okay. And it's gaining traction. All right. And they seem to really like him. And that's never been done. And we already did the Kids' Choice Sports. So I guess we will have to do the Kids' Choice Content Career Awards hosted by Brandley on Nickelodeon. Damn it! That's how you take an inch and make it a mile, ladies and gentlemen. Just teach you some media game. All right, here we go. Mr. Beast, a 27-year-old popular YouTuber known for his elaborate challenges and giveaways, is venturing into a new realm. He's reportedly launching his own phone company, which I am assuming that it will be called Beast Mobile, according to Business Insider. And I promise you, if I get this up here, it probably won't allow me to do it because it's going to block it. Yep, figured as much. That's why we appreciate TechCrunch so much. Which viewed a leaked investor deck. Ooh, I bet you somebody's going to be in trouble. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is planning to launch a mobile phone service next year. Business are also reported that Mr. Beast executives at Beast Industries are considering fintech and mobile gaming. So Beast Match is coming where you do it like Candy Crush Saga. Is that what we're doing here? Or a, scroller like Super Mario Run? Like, what we talking about here? Or, Mr. Beast Racing? Mobile racing game that could be a video game. Like, what we talking about here? The YouTuber's new plan includes establishing a mobile virtual network operator, MVNO, a strategy that involves offering mobile phone service using existing networks from major companies like AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. By partnering with one of these operators, Mr. Beast can provide affordable rates and good service without the high cost of building a mobile network on his own. This is similar to tactics employed by other celebrities such as Ryan Reynolds and Mint Mobile, which was sold to T-Mobile for around $1.35 billion. T-Mobile provides a MVNO solution, as previously collaborated with Mr. Beast. The upcoming venture is a part of Mr. Beast's larger strategy to broaden his brand, which includes food companies, Feastables, and Lunchly, as well as a toy line. This new phone company could help his business reach profitability. Although Mr. Beast has a massive fan base with about 430 million YouTube subscribers, his media business is not a moneymaker. Last year, Mr. Beast's side hustle Feastables generated around $250 million in sales and over $20 million in profit. Yeah, I know. I know. According to Bloomberg, meanwhile, his media business, which includes his YouTube channel and the reality competition show on Prime Video, Beast Games, lost nearly $80 million. Well, what do I think about this story? I'm kind of surprised by this, that he would, try to do Beast Mobile. But imagine this, your kids have Beast Mobile, and for any exclusive giveaways or anything exclusive or Beast content that you can only get on Beast Mobile. I could definitely see that happening for sure. So not really too surprised about Beast Mobile being a thing. Yes, indeed. And by the way, y'all, this Friday at 8 p.m. is a free game, Chiefs and Chargers on YouTube. I will be doing a live stream party, okay? So we're going to try it here. Hopefully YouTube will not, ding me or any other content creator, because they do have a watch with feature since we're talking about mobile content and all that stuff. So there is a NFL game this Friday. So I will be here watching it here with you all. Of course, y'all know we streamed the Super Bowl. We had to cut out most of it because of copyright. But we did get to see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles win at the end. So very cool there. All right, y'all. More Brainley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from the space right here, right now. Now, this is from Travel and Leisure. This is the most underrated city in the South. I'm going to say that 2 more times. This is the most underrated city in the South. This is the most underrated city in the South. That's what Travel and Leisure said, okay? It has presidential history, Southern charm, and the best cheese dip in the United States. Little Rock is a city that keeps surprising. Yes, it does. Let's get to it. So Little Rock, Arkansas, learn about the city's role in the civil rights movement at the Little Rock Central High School National Historic Site. Cheese dip is said to have been invented in Little Rock. Tried some of the best in the state at Ditsy's. Explored 33 miles of trails at Pinnacle Mountain State Park, which is conveniently located within city limits. People watch at Little Rock's front porch at the Capitol Hotel, and go on antique splurge along Soma, which is filled with dozens of vintage and curio shops. Little Rock, Arkansas is about an 8-hour drive from my home in Atlanta, and feels like each time I visit, the city has changed a little bit. There's something new to check out. By the way, want to give a shout out to Caroline Eubanks here. Shout out to her. Most recently, I traveled to the city to join the panel of judges for the World Cheese Dip Championship. Yes, this is a thing. 2025, I spent my time shopping in South Main, affectionately called Soma, and eating my way around the restaurants in the Heights. I also used Little Rock as a jump-off point for day trips, including to Clinton's childhood home of Hope, Arkansas, and the home of the sweetest watermelon in the world, the Hot Springs National Park. By the way, Hot Springs is America's first resort, just in case you did not know. Also, the Gangster Museum of America. And many, many more things. Officially founded in 1821 as the capital of the then Arkansas Territory, Little Rock gets its name from an actual Little Rock, which still sits on the riverfront. In 1772, a French exploration party saw the rock on the Arkansas River and dubbed the site and the near bluff Le Petit Rocher, or the Little Rock. Originally, the area was Quapaw land, but it slowly became a well-known trading hub in the region for those traveling west. Needless to say, Little Rock has had more than a few famous tourists, including former President Bill Clinton and General Douglas MacArthur. Most people might associate Little Rock as the place where key events of the civil rights movement unfolded in the 1960s, such as when the Little Rock Nine entered Central High School after the landmark 1954 decision of Brown versus Board of Education. The city pays homage to its history, but has bloomed into a modern metropolis. There's so much to see and do in the southern city. For example, I did not know this. It now has one of the only purse museums in the world. The Essie Purse Museum is a treat to visit for a handbag lover myself. I had no idea that we had a purse museum, but also too, it's one of the only purse museums in the world as well. Okay, let's get to it. So, some of the best hotels and resorts in Little Rock, Arkansas. The AC Hotel by Marriott, Little Rock. This hotel is located in downtown Little Rock's River Market District. Occupies 2 buildings that are on the National Historic Register and were constructed in the early 20th century. However, the sleek guest rooms have all the modern bells and whistles travelers could hope for, and the restaurant and bar have daily European-style breakfast and happy hour. The Capitol Hotel. Capitol Hotel dates back to 1873 and has long been a favorite of traveling politicians who used to come here to stay after a long day of work at the old State House, which is now a museum. And after a 2024 renovation, the historic Badeau Arts Gym is better than ever, with revamped restaurant, the Capitol Bar and Grill, and refreshed luxurious rooms with well-stocked main bars and plush bedding. The Empress of Little Rock. This handsome historic inn is located in a meticulously preserved 1888 Victorian home. It was previously used as a women's college before its 1994 transformation. Each room is unique and named after significant figures in Arkansas history. The Hemingway Suite, yes, Ernest Hemingway, the writer, set in the 1940s carriage house, has a jacuzzi and balcony. Hopefully, the Brainley Suite will be a thing one day. Okay, we're just going to speak that into existence in Jesus' name. Yes, yes, yes. Amen, amen. And the urban colleges of Little Rock stay like a local at urban colleges, rather a 1923 tripleplex in the Governor's Mansion district with all the architectural charm the area is known for. Each college has original hardwood floors, Roku televisions, in-room coffee makers, and microwaves. Best of all, a daily breakfast is included with the fee. Yes, indeed. And there is that historic school where Black history was made, ladies and gentlemen. That is Central High School. I've never been in it. In all my years of living in Little Rock, Arkansas, I've never been in it. I've passed by it many times, but never been in it. By the way, please don't be an idiot and jump in the pool. That's a reflection pool to honor what was. Okay, just keeping it a buck. Toward the Little Rock Central High School National Historic Site, if you only visit one place during your time in Little Rock, rather, it should be the Little Rock Central High School National Historic Site. The school played a role as the pivotal site where non-African American teens enrolled and entered the previously whites-only institution after the Supreme Court's Brown versus Board education decision. Little Rock Central High is actually still in operation as a 4-year public high school, and it's also a 28-acre park stewarded by the National Park Service. It now has a visitor center and regularly hosts ranger-led talks. You need to make a reservation in advance to attend one. See a faux Oval Office at the Clinton Presidential Library. The sprawling Clinton Presidential Library sits on the riverfront with hundreds of archival images and artifacts, like gifts given by heads of state, all related to the state's former governor, President Bill Clinton. There's also a replica of the Oval Office, which may be as close as you're likely to getting to the real thing. Now, you cannot sit at the desk. Okay, you cannot sit. Hey, Explorer 80, good to see you, gorgeous, by the way. She is on is it a fast or a diet? I know it's something about 70, right? And let me tell you, the sunrises in Australia are absolutely stunning. And no, I do not perv on Sonia Kruger, okay? Listen, she's a very gifted host. They're bringing back Big Brother to Dream World. And I just saw something from Screamscape that Dream World wants to expand its park. And if I ever got the chance to host Big Brother Australia, I would be on the first flight. They have such a reverence for the game. Big Brother is I'm serious. Good damn. Can I not be serious with you all? But 75 hard. Yes, 75 hard is what Explorer 80 is like. Comment, share, subscribe to that beautiful sister right there. But sincerely, Big Brother is a whole character. Like, this is Big Brother. And not to mention, too, Big Brother is a whole character, right? The last season, it was a clash of old and new housemates. And, you know, the Big Brother in the United States, it's more... It's respected, but it's not revered. Like, when you watch Big Brother Australia, you are literally on the edge of your seat because you do not know the twists and turns of that. There are hidden rooms and upon hidden rooms, and it is it's a spectacle upon itself. And not to mention too, the fact that they did Big Brother inside a theme park, brilliant, right? Brilliant. But our host, Julie Chin Moonves, is our host. Okay, nobody messes with Julie. Okay, we love her very much. All right, so yes, it is a fun look at human relationships for sure. All right, y'all. Here we go. More about my hometown, Little Rock, Arkansas. Follow the history of purses over the last century. You don't have to be a satirist to appreciate the S.E. Purse Museum, which opened in 2013 in Soma, helping revitalize the old business district. Founded based on founders Anita David's personal collection. It tells the story of women over the past century through the items they carry, with hundreds of purses, bags, and accessories. Don't skip the gift shop, which also sells designer purses. Admire works by Georgia O'Keeffe and Jackson Pollock. The free to visit Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts dates back to 1914, when the Fine Arts Club of Arkansas was founded with the intent to open the first permanent art gallery in the state. The fruits of their efforts resulted in this 14,000 object permanent collection, which spans Renaissance drawings to modern sculpture. Its most recent expansion in 2023 restored the Art Deco exterior and added a modern to accommodate a performing arts center. Yes, indeed. Hit the trails at Pinnacle Mountain State Park. It's easy to forget you're in a city when you're wandering through the over 2,300-acre Pinnacle Mountain State Park, which is located on the edge of Little Rock. The sprawling site has 33 miles to hike and mountain bike, 2 rivers, and a cypress swamp popular for canoeing. Its Espinamis Mountain is perfect for rock climbers. Visitors can also sign for kayak tours and ranger talks while there. When you get to the top of Pinnacle Mountain State Park, the view is beyond breathtaking. And the fact that you're still in the city is crazy. Now, of course, I'm a foodie. Give me this and a beautiful thick BBW, and I am happy. Okay, but the BBW has to taste like peach cobbler. Moving on. So let's keep going. See, it's these people's fault. I drink my water, my black-owned business, and go into it, and these people bring this behavior out of me. I am ashamed, beside myself, disgusted with their behavior. Now, of course, I'm completely joking. I do this behavior on my own accord, all right? So this is Wright's Barbecue here. A very good place. I see bratwurst. I see brisket. I see ribs. I think that's chicken. And, of course, pickles there. Yes, indeed. So Ditsy's has been a Little Rock classic since 1995. Things like Reuben sandwiches and black bean soup on the menu. Not to mention, it's frequently a winner at the World Cheese Dip Championship. George's, Little Rock. Most restaurants in town lean more casual, but George's in Little Rock in the Heights is great for special occasions and date nights. The restaurant is located in Old Home and serves house-made pasta. Has a speakeasy. Bar and beats in the back is more than worth the wait. Rex Restaurant is a playful Soma eatery with a menu filled with comfort food classics like tuna melts, as well as Asian-inspired dishes like kimchi, grilled cheese, and Thai tea cheesecake. Be sure to try one of the craft cocktails too, such as the Blueberry Bourbon Smash, which features sesame fat wash whiskey. Ooh, blueberries and a dash of lemon. Be like that. The Root Cafe. The Root is one of the first farm-to-table restaurants in Little Rock. It has delicious food and is thriving, says Davis. Decorated with charming secondhand art and furniture, the Soma mainstay has been in business for 14 years and utilizes ingredients sourced directly from local farmers to make fun creations like curry chicken salad and spicy banh mi. Wright's Barbecue, which... I mean, how could you not want to go to Wright's Barbecue after that delicious platter right there? I'm just saying. Wright's Barbecue, Arkansas is known for its unique style of barbecue. Wright's Barbecue is one of the top spots in town to enjoy smoked meat such as brisket, burnt ends, and pulled pork. Don't miss out on the barbecue nachos and loaded mac and cheese, which is topped with a generous helping of pulled pork. Now, just a couple other places. Shark's Fish and Chicken, some of the best catfish you'll ever get. Brewster's 2 Cafe, home of the sweet heat wings. Lindsay's Barbecue. Okay, get the sweet potato pie. You will not regret it. Shotgun Dance. Get the Big Dan Pizza. You will not regret it. Certified Pie is the only black-owned pizza eatery. Okay, so just a couple things, you know. How can I forget Sims Barbecue, of course. Best time to visit. The best time of year to visit Little Rock, or the best time of year in Little Rock, is fall or early spring, says Davis. Every spring, the city hosts a Mardi Gras celebration in Soma, complete with parades, floats, and loud music. Despite the toasty summer heat, June is great for events like Little Rock Pride and the World Cheese Dip Championships. For the Cheese Dip Championships, you want to bring something like a muffin tin to hold all your samples from various competitors. But if you're hoping to plan a visit during a time of pleasant weather, fall is perhaps its best time. That's when you also catch the Arkansas State Fair. And let me tell you, it's a good time, which is held over several days in October at the fairgrounds southwest of downtown. How to get there? Most travelers will reach Little Rock via Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport, LIT or LIT, which services all the major airlines with direct flights to and from other U.S. major cities such as Atlanta, Chicago, and beyond. From there is a short 10-minute drive, about 5 miles to the heart of Little Rock. Little Rock is also served by Amtrak's Texas Eagle route, which runs between Chicago and Los Angeles. Otherwise, your best bet is to drive. The city sits at the crossroads of Interstates 30 and 40. Neighborhoods to visit. So this is downtown Little Rock here. Yes, beautiful mural right there. I love that. Downtown, this is where most travelers will find themselves, since this is where the majority of the city's hotels are located. Downtown is pretty walkable, has plenty of restaurants and attractions. such as the Old State House and historic Arkansas Museum. Nearby, you'll find the River District, a popular dining and nightlife destination. Damn Goody Pies. There used to be a place called Caucasian's Wharf, but that shut down. I think there's like an oyster bar as well. And Larry's Pizza. Haven't been to Larry's Pizza. It's all you can eat buffet. Masterpiece. U.S. Pizza as well. Soma or South Main is a mural-filled neighborhood. This is definitely where the cool kids of Little Rock hang out. You'll find plenty of shops, restaurants, art galleries, and museums like Essie. The neighborhood regularly hosts events like Mardi Gras and Prize, and also the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade as well. There's also some hidden landmarks according to Davidson Burney. The Bernice Garden is named for my grandmother, and its sculptures all come from Arkansas, she says. Petaway Square is an up-and-coming neighborhood south of downtown named for its Esplanade Park. It's home to Paper Hearts Bookstore, a cozy and thoughtfully curated shop selling new and gently loved tiles, and it also has a coffee shop, a beer bar, and a restaurant. The Heights, named for its high location on the river bluffs. The Heights is a beautiful residential area with historic homes. You'll also find local shops, including big box grocery stores here, as well as local favorites like George's. Yes. Okay. How to get around? Little Rock is a modestly sized city, but big enough that you can't walk everywhere you might want to go. If you rent a car, parking is fairly plentiful in the city, especially in neighborhoods like Soma. Uber is an option, but in my opinion, there is an abundance of drivers. You might be waiting a while for a car. Lime scooters are available, which can help fill in the gaps in distances. Little Rock also has a public transit system, Rock Region Metro, which used to be CAT, so Central Arkansas Transportation System, or CATS, which includes buses and the historic streetcar which loops around downtown. So thank you so much, Travel and Leisure, for this wonderful article here, and I will go back to the top just to show we don't make up anything around here. This is the most underrated city in the South. This is the most underrated city in the South. That's what Travel and Leisure said, okay? All right. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Yum, that looks good. I'm cooking bacon and eggs for breakies. That meal sounds so good. Yes, it does, my friend. Yes, it does. All right, y'all. More Brainley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here, right now. Shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years. On to the next 25 years. Yes, indeed. Why Spirit Airlines has returned to Chapter 11 so quickly. The budget carrier seeks second Chapter 11 protection as compares circle and domestic travel demand weakens. Spirit 11 filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection Friday, just 5 months after emerging from its previous restructuring, marking an unprecedented rapid return to court protection for a major U.S. carrier. The Dana Beach, Florida-based airline announced it will continue normal operations during the restructuring process, allowing passengers to book flights, use tickets, and redeem loyalty points without interruption. The ultra-low-cost carrier's second bankruptcy filing reflects deeper structural problems that its March reorganization failed to address. CEO Dave Davis acknowledged that while the first Chapter 11 focused on exclusively reducing debt and raising capital, much more work remains to position Spirit for long-term survival. The company reported losses of $257 million between March and June, while carrying $2.4 billion in long-term debt. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Spirit warned investors in August it might not survive another year, citing adverse market conditions and substantial doubt about its ability to continue operations. The airline faces multiple headwinds, including Pratt & Whitney engine issues causing flight groundings, weak domestic leisure travel demand, and rising operational costs. So there's been some things with Spirit, like an engine blew. I think a door flew off the hinges. So, yeah, Spirit has had some problems. 47's administration tariffs on import goods, which, by the way, a U.S. judge said that the tariffs that the president has made have been illegal. Yeah. On imported goods threaten to further increase expenses at a time where the carrier desperately needs to cut costs. The bankruptcy arrives as competitors aggressively target Spirit's customer base. Frontier Airlines announced 20 new winter routes, many overlapping with Spirit's key markets. Major carriers have launched their own budget offerings, directly challenging Spirit's business model, while the company attempts to move up market with tier pricing that includes premium perks. Work braces for harder restructuring. Labor unions are preparing members for a more challenging bankruptcy than the previous filing. The Association of Flight Attendants warned that this bankruptcy will be harder and look different than last year, urging them to prepare for all possible scenarios. Spirit plans to furlough 270 pilots this fall and downgrade 140 captains to first officers. These cuts follow previous furloughs implemented before the company's first bankruptcy filing. The workforce reductions align with expected lower flight volumes as the airline shrinks operations. Despite cuts, Spirit needs additional cash to sustain operations. The company is considering selling aircraft and real estate assets. Spirit's relatively young fleet makes an attractive acquisition target, though previous buyout attempts from JetBlue and Frontier failed. It was interesting because the former CEO of Spirit said, "We will never talk to JetBlue," and then had to eat crow. Watch what you say. Employees will continue receiving wages and benefits during the restructuring. Strategic overhaul amid market pressure. Spirit outlined 4 pillars of its restructuring strategy aimed at achieving long-term viability. The airline will redesign its network, reducing pressure in certain markets while strengthening positions in key hubs. Fleet optimization targets hundreds of millions in annual savings by matching aircraft capacity to the redesigned network. The carrier plans to address its cost structure, identifying efficiency opportunities to create a profitable model. Most controversially, Spirit will offer lower prices on premium options, attempting to compete across all price points rather than focusing exclusively on budget-conscious travelers. This strategic shift represents a fundamental departure from the ultra-low-cost model that defined Spirit for decades. Market dynamics has shifted dramatically since Spirit's first bankruptcy. Domestic leisure travel demand remains weak, while business travel particularly recovered. Traditional carriers successfully launched basic economy products, capturing price-sensitive customers who flew previously from Spirit. The airline's attempts to move up market risk alienate its core customer base without successfully attracting premium travelers. Spirit operates 5,013 flights to 88 destinations across the United States, Caribbean, Mexico, Central America, Panama, and Colombia. The extensive network requires significant capital to maintain while generating insufficient revenue to cover costs. Uncertain future for budget travel. Spirit Airlines will be removed from the NYSE, American Stock Exchange, as it enters bankruptcy proceedings. The company's stock plummeted 45% in after-hours trading following the bankruptcy announcement, adding to a 72% decline over the previous month. Financial markets have already priced insignificant skepticism about Spirit's survival prospects. The airline's struggles reflect broader challenges facing ultra-low-cost carriers in a transformed aviation landscape. Post-pandemic travel patterns favor premium experiences over bare-bones transportation. Business model innovation by legacy carriers eliminate much of Spirit's competitive advantage, while operational challenges undermine its cost structure. Whether Spirit emerges successfully from this second bankruptcy remains highly uncertain, as the airline faces fundamental questions about its place in modern aviation. Rapid return to Chapter 11 protection suggests structural problems run deeper than simple debt issues. Wow. Well, what do I think about this destination? Well, Spirit has been in flux for a while. We covered a brother that wanted to buy Spirit and make it a Black-owned airline, the first Black-owned airline ever. We talked about that live here on Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. Of course, I think Sir Richard Branson should buy it and bring back Virgin America personally. I want to bring something up to you guys real quick here, in case you guys did not know this. Let's see. So here is something that you guys may or may not know about. As you know, we always try to bring you something that you just didn't know, but maybe you needed to know.
On December 17, 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright made 4 flights in their powered flying machine, with the final pass of the day lasting a record 59 seconds. The brothers had been experimenting with flight for over...
Filet mignon with bordelaise sauce, prepared as you like it.
Ryan, look! There's a new kind of plane! That's Eastern's new Boeing 727 jet. Look how high the tail is. 34 feet. Look where they put the jets. In the tail assembly. That's one reason it's so quiet. The passengers are always riding ahead of the sound. Where does it fly to? I don't know.
It flies north. You can hightail it on Eastern's new 727 jetliner to Washington, Philadelphia, and Boston. And a unique new dining service is worth writing home about. Choose from a selection of superb entrees like lobster Newburg, filet mignon with bordelaise sauce, prepared as you like it. Eastern 727 jet, quiet as a library. The smartest way to leave town? Come fly with Eastern.
In 1964, they were the first airline to fly the Boeing 727. The expansion allowed for more and more people to have the ability to fly, regardless of economic status. In 1967, Eastern purchased another airline, Mackey Airlines, and also expanded their international flights further. In 1970, Eastern adopted the slogan, "The Wings of Man." Their previous slogans, "First and on-time dependability," "See how much better an airline can be," "We want everyone to fly," and "Number one to the sun," had been short-lived and had done little to boost the airline's marketing. Wings of Man, however, restored a sense of class to the airline, an issue most airlines were struggling with as they reduced rates and increased availability. On September 23, 1970, it was announced that Eastern Airlines would be the official airline of the Walt Disney World Resort.
You heard that, right? Eastern Airlines, the official airline of the Walt Disney World Resort. Let's keep going.
To open the following year. Eastern claimed to have more flights going to Florida every day than all of the other airlines combined. This allowed for double promotion of both the airline and the new vacation destination.
Do you know the way to the Magic Kingdom? I'll never get there. Never get there. Do you know the way to the Magic Kingdom? Sure I do. But can you fly?
You can fly to Walt Disney World in Florida on Eastern, the airline of Walt Disney World, the Wings of Man.
Eastern began offering vacation packages for trips to the resort, and children flying Eastern to Orlando were given a fun flight bag. Inside was Mickey and Minnie hand puppets, a paper Mickey mask, Magic Kingdom themed games and puzzles, a DIY book dust cover, and other cereal box caliber items. The largest obligation for Eastern's end of the contract was to sponsor an attraction at the Magic Kingdom. Their ride, If You Had Wings, would open in Tomorrowland on June 5th, 1972, less than a year after
Now,
the park.
this is not in comparison to Delta Airlines with Delta Dream Flight, which was a whole separate thing from Eastern Airlines. Eastern Airlines is no longer around, just like Pan Am Airlines is no longer around. Let's keep going.
Opened. This Omnimover ride took guests through different scenes of Eastern's premier travel destinations, such as Mexico, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas, all showcased with simple sets and projectors. The most unique part of the ride was the Speed Room, a tunnel with a film projection that wrapped around an inclined lift. This gave the illusion that you were taking off in a plane, with fans blowing to simulate the experience. The most memorable part of the ride was the theme song written by Disney composer Buddy Baker, which is either sweet or slightly sinister sounding depending on the viewer, but it is no doubt catchy.
If you had wings, you could do many things. You could widen your world if you had wings.
Once guests exited the ride, they were greeted by an Eastern Airlines travel agent willing to book their next vacation with the airline. This is similar to the design of Chevrolet's Test Track sponsorship today. Eastern's sponsorship with Disney prompted them to purchase more planes and add new flights to Orlando. By this point, Eastern was one of the biggest airlines in the country. In 1975, retired astronaut Frank Borman became CEO of Eastern Airlines. He replaced the Wings of Man campaign with a new campaign starring himself, along with a new slogan.
We earn our wings every day.
In 1977, Borman would make Eastern the first U.S. airline to fly the Airbus A300 jet. They would also launch the Boeing 757 in 1982. However, these purchases combined with high oil prices would put Eastern deep in debt. They had difficulty competing with airlines offering lower fares, and its campaign to stress quality over...
One second, everybody. 1 second. Sorry, y'all. That was my mama calling. We love moms around here. Yes, we do. All right, let's keep going.
The price did little to sway consumers. On top of this, most of the airline's workforce were unionized, making it difficult to compete with other airlines employing non-union workers such as People Express. Eastern's attempt to cut wages against the will of the union resulted in massive strikes among the workforce. Both sides began to sabotage the other.
We started at 7:30. This engine is basically done as soon as the electrician gets done, right? Hour and a half. I can go in there and pull the maintenance manual out, and there's a manual in there that thick to change this engine, right? I can take 2 days to change this engine, right? So basically, that's what we were doing. I was one of the people that was more, aggressive at it, right? Because I was protecting, in other words, I was like an old groundhog digging in his hole. I was protecting my hole.
This here is a vacation like nowhere else, because here you can find new thrills, big chills, and oh, look at that. There's a new adventure happening every day. Universal Orlando Resort.
Yes, indeed.
Easy Cater. Order food for work from a huge variety of restaurants. For any budget, dietary need, or group size. All in one place.
The issues piled on, and Borman had no choice but to sell the airline in 1986. This would result in the beginning of Eastern's descent. Eastern Airlines was sold
a little bit.
Lorenzo acquired the company. That same year, Lorenzo would acquire People Express, which had acquired Frontier Airlines. This resulted in Lorenzo, through Texas Air, owning around 20% of the U.S.'s airline industry. The unions offered to negotiate new contracts with Lorenzo, but he did not respond to the requests. Within a few months, over 2,000 employees were laid off, and pay cuts were threatened in order to keep Eastern afloat. Although many analysts claim that even with the most drastic pay cuts, Eastern would still be losing money. The Department of Transportation conducted a safety investigation on Eastern, finding no major issues, but officially warned the airline that the cost-cutting would result in safety concerns. This prompted many to choose other airlines. In 1987, Eastern would end their sponsorship with Disney and no longer be Walt Disney World's official airline. If You Had Wings was closed for 5 days and stripped of any references to the sponsorship. The ride reopened as If You Could Fly on June 6, 1987, mainly the same without the sponsorship or its signature theme song. Delta would soon replace Eastern as the official airline of Walt Disney World, and they would open their own ride in If You Could Fly's place on June 26, 1989, called Delta Dream Flight. Utilizing the same layout as the previous version of the ride, the attraction now took guests through the history of flight. Delta would not make the same attempt at in-flight experiences that Eastern did, and their sponsorship with the resort would only last until 1995. In 1996, Disney removed all Delta branding from the attraction, renaming it to simply Dream Flight before renaming it again a few months later to Take Flight. 2 years later, Take Flight would be replaced with the space's current resident, the Shooting Dark ride, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. The original track layout.
I want to bring that to your attention because what if Universal Destinations and Experiences acquired Spirit Airlines, right? So let's look at this here. However, if we were to imagine what such an airline would look like, it would be a fascinating blend of Spirit's ultra low-cost carrier model and Universal focus on immersive experience-driven entertainment. Here are some speculative elements of what Spirit Airlines would look like. Branding and aesthetics, the livery, the bright yellow of Spirit's fly less branding will likely be replaced or augmented with Universal signature globe for a more dynamic and cinematic look. You can see iconic Universal characters like the Minions, dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, or superheroes from Marvel and DC, depending on licensing on the tails of the aircraft. Catchphrase Bear Fairwood concept will be rebranded to something more aligned with Universal's experience thing. Perhaps your journey starts here. Your journey to adventure starts here, or where the flight is as thrilling as the destination. The in-flight experience, this is where the universal influence will be most apparent. The themed cabins, instead of the standard yellow seats, the cabin will be themed to different universal properties. Just imagine a Wizarding World section with enchanted luggage bins, or the Jurassic Park area with dinosaur-themed overhead lockers. In-flight entertainment, forget generic movies. On-board screens would exclusively feature Universal's film library for classic monster movies to the latest blockbusters. This would be a premium offering, likely sold as an add-on in the spirit tradition. Costumes and characters. Flight attendants might wear uniforms inspired by Universal theme park employees, or maybe even have a themed show during the flight, like a brief performance by a character actor. Now, of course, I don't think that's going to happen. I think an in-flight, a brief performance by a character actor may be within the in-flight entertainment. Okay, so let's keep everything in perspective. Make a SPIRIT Airlines plane with the logo. Give me a moment. Because this is the thing that I love about our channel, is that you really don't know what could be until we go live. You really just don't know. You think you do, but you don't know. Let's see what it looks like here. We're doing this live, so give it a moment. Whoa! Whoa! Y'all see this shit? Oh my God! Okay. All right. Listen. Universal, I'm not telling y'all what to do, but that looks fly as fuck. Oh my God. Now, listen. This is very cool to watch, man. It's amazing how far airlines have come to get us to faraway places. Absolutely. We know you're going to mention Big Brother, though. Oh, absolutely. But y'all, look at this. So this just goes to show you, just pay attention to what's happening, right? So I wanted to show you two things here. So here is this. Universal Studios Hollywood and Spirit Airlines soared to new heights with the first ever Super Nintendo World themed Airbus A320 Neo inaugural flight to the skies from Detroit to Fort Lauderdale today. So there it is there with Super Nintendo World. So, and listen, there's the Universal logo with Super Nintendo World. So, this happened last year. Okay. Wow, bro. And check this out too. Now, y'all know DreamWorks is owned by NBC Universal, so check this out. So I'm not saying that Universal could buy Spirit and you can get points to flying to Universal Orlando Resort and to Hollywood and to Japan and to Singapore or any destination. But listen, the possibilities are there, okay? So listen. And this is public information, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is right here. So, I'm just saying, imagine this. And that's why I brought up the Defunct Land video. And by the way, shout out to Defunct Land, by the way, for that video of bringing up the fact that Eastern Airlines was the official airline of Walt Disney World. So if that could be the case, why not this? All right. So we do have more Brainley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here and right now. Here we go. Stephen A. Smith expanded his media territory, from Urban Insight here. Stephen A. Smith, the outspoken broadcaster, author, and television personality, has expanded his media presence with not one, but two, new Sirius XM programs. Smith's news daily sports talk show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, debuted today at 1 p.m. Eastern on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, which Mad Dog appears on First Take. Airing weekdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. The program will showcase Smith's signature style of debate and opinion while engaging listeners through a new interactive feature called Get Serious with Stephen A. Smith. Fans can submit short voice notes or written hot takes on the day's biggest sports stories, with Smith reacting live on air, agreeing, firing back, or even roasting outrageous takes. Oh my lord. Selected participants will earn Smith's stamp of approval ratings, shareable as digital graphic cards. In addition, Sirius XM announced the premiere date of Smith's new live politics and culture show, Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith, set to launch September 17th on the bipartisan POTUS channel. Channel 124. The program will air live every Wednesday at 6 p.m., featuring interviews with political leaders, business figures, and entertainment personalities, along Smith's unfiltered commentary on cultural events. Listeners will also be able to join the discussion live via live calls. Following each broadcast, Straight Shooter will be released as a podcast across major platforms and as a full-length video on YouTube the next day. I spent my career speaking my mind, asking tough questions, and zeroing in on issues that matter most. Smith said, whether it's my new sports show on Mad Dog Sports Radio or talking politics on Post, I'm here to challenge, entertain, and engage in Sirius XM listeners. Scott Greenstein, Sirius XM's president and chief content officer, called Smith a perfect fit for the platform, citing his unique voice, unparalleled energy, and range of interests. So this is going to be interesting because, Stephen A., he is known for his sports, and he's done very well at that. But when you're talking about politics, you either know your shit or you don't. Now, Tara Stutmeyer, I can see her on Sirius XM. Stephen A., not so much. And we get into politics here, but we get into it. Let's see here. I'm so glad I caught the airplane stuff, Brandon. So cool to go back to the start of Old Planes at Disney. I'm off to work here. It's 9 a.m. Wednesday on Strip. See you, mate. All right, mate. Love you as always. Good to see you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all subscribe to her. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Explorer 80. Yes, indeed. Much love to you. Like I said, I believe that Stephen A. Smith is going to have a more difficult time than he believes. Sports is very easy to do when you consume that, but when you get into politics, it gets a little bit harder. Like I said, we cover it from a social issues point of view, so education, AB, equal pay. We get into politics from that point of view, right? Thank you, my friend. You know I will. Thank you so much. And this is why I love our channel, because you give variety here that it's like, well, damn, we went from housewives to Stephen A. Smith to history about airplanes to showcasing travel to talking about, what's next in technology, all in one show. Life is three-dimensional, so why not YouTube as well? The original slogan of YouTube is broadcast yourself. So thank you, my friend, for that. That made my day. Thank you so much. But yeah, like I said, I think Stephen A. is going to have a very difficult time. And listen, in his new contract, his $100 million contract, he has the freedom to be able to do more of this. But also, too, what you say on Sirius XM can backfire with your daytime employer of ESPN and Disney, because you're still employed by them. So just tread lightly, brother. Just tread lightly. Speaking of treading lightly, here we go from the Jasmine brand. Wendy Williams reportedly has no desire to return to TV hosting, looking into speaking tour to expose horrific guardianship system. Apologizes in advance for those still weighing on Wendy Williams to return to her iconic purple chair. Sources share with Page 6 that Wendy has no interest in returning to the role of talk show host and is instead looking into a speaking tour to raise awareness about the dark side of guardianships, seemingly confirming what the insider shared. Her lawyer, Joe Topolkina, told Extra about that the 61-year-old has confided in him about wanting to expose what she believes to be an abusive system. He continued, it's just so unjust. What she said was, what she said to me more than once was, Joe, situation there, platform system. Topolkina add added that Wendy feels it's better her than some individual who was caught in the vortex of horrific Guardian situation where you can't get out. She said that if it was going to be somebody, she is happy it's her because hopefully we'll put it into what she calls abuse. Wendy has been under a court-appointed guardianship since May of 2022, despite reports that she has frontotemporal dementia and aphasia. Wendy has maintained that her mental health is just fine. So what do I think about this? I think that this is a good move. Of course, we do miss Wendy in her iconic purple chair because nobody does Wendy like Wendy. And speaking of, I wanted to bring this up. I saw this morning on his LinkedIn. Saw this on LinkedIn this morning. It was like 28 minutes ago. But I wasn't gonna make a lot about it, but I was definitely going to mention it because this is some very big news. Right here. So just to show y'all, John Murray here. Seasons change. I am not returning for season 4. Sherry, before you all asked, Sherry and I are fine. That's one of my best friends in real life. I worked all summer to get her and her aspects of the show ready for the new season. I'm proud of what Sherry and I built together with this talk show. We achieved a lot in the face of considerable adversity. Thanks to all of you for the love you showed along the way. That's all I have for now. Peace sign, praying hands emoji. And honestly, too, I feel like with John Murray, he came in for the assignment, did what he needed to do, and he wants to do other things. And I think that a real friend allows their friend to thrive in other areas, right? And listen, John Murray, before he got with Sherry Shepherd, he ran a great website called alwaysalist.com. So maybe he wants to get back to that. Maybe he wants to have some time to chill, or maybe the John Murray talk show might have inspired him too. So we shall see. With that, so just wanted to bring that talk show element up for you all. Like I said, I think that Wendy is definitely in her full power, and if anybody can talk about power, it's definitely Wendy Williams. So I definitely miss her on daytime TV. I think she can do late night too, but the main thing is making sure that her mental health rather, is okay. All right, y'all. Final destination for you all. Just wanted to show you this. Judge says 47's administration's use of U.S. military in Los Angeles violated federal law. Judge says 47's administration's use of U.S. military in Los Angeles violated federal law. Judge says 47's administration's use of U.S. military in Los Angeles violated federal law. Is anybody surprised? No. A federal judge ruled Tuesday that President 47 and Defense Secretary Pete Hesh, the one that was in a Signal group chat and gave out the war plans to everybody, including to the editor of The Atlantic, and also talked about the war plans to his brother and his wife, which you're not supposed to do. And the director of national intelligence, I'm saying that in quotes because Tulsi Gabbard's not intelligent, said that Pete Hesh committed no crime. Like I said, a federal judge ruled Tuesday that President 47 Defense Secretary Pete Hesh violated federal law by using U.S. military to help carry out law enforcement activities in and around Los Angeles this summer. U.S. District Judge Charles Brenner concluded that 47's use of thousands of federalized California National Guard members and U.S. Marines to provide protection to federal agents during an aggressive immigration crackdown in Los Angeles ran afoul of the Posse Contagious Act, a 19th century law that generally prohibits the use of troops for domestic law enforcement purposes. So he's trying to do that in Chicago and I think in Baltimore, Maryland as well. So once again, breaking the law. Everybody else had to vote for the dumb fuck. All right, moving on here. The ruling from Breyer, who held a multi-day trial last month over 47's use of the military in the state, comes as the president is weighing whether to send National Guard members to other cities, including ones in California and Illinois. President 47 Secretary Hesh has stated their intention to call National Guard troops into service in other cities across the country. Breyer wrote in his 52-page opinion, thus creating a national police force with the president as his chief. Pretty much, the evidence at trial established that defendants systematically used armored soldiers whose identity was often obscured by protective armor and military vehicles to set up protective perimeters, traffic blockades, engage crowd control, otherwise demonstrate a military presence in and around Los Angeles. In short, defendants violate Posse Contains Act, Breyer wrote. In an effort to starve off further violations of the Posse Contains Act in California, Breyer blocked 47 Hesh from using troops there for arrest, apprehension, searches, seizures, security patrols, traffic control, crowd control, riot control, evidence collection, interrogation, or acting as informants. The judge paused that part of his ruling until next Friday to give the administration time to appeal it, though Breyer's decision to bar 47 and Hesh from continuing to use the troops in California for law enforcement purposes may stand as a warning shot to them ahead of any similar deployments around the country. His ruling is limited to the Garden State. Los Angeles was the first city where President 47 and Secretary Hesh deployed troops, but not the last, Breyer wrote. California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom sued 47 Hesh in June after 47 federalized members of his state's militia in the wake of protests in the Los Angeles area over the administration's hardline immigration policies. The people of California won much needed accountability against 47's illegal militarization of an American city, the governor's office wrote in a post on Twitter after Breyer issued his decision. Breyer appointee of former President Bill Clinton, who sits in San Francisco, initially ruled in June that 47 unlawfully called the troops into service and ordered the president to return control of them back to the governor. A federal appeals court later said 47 can maintain control of the troops while the legal challenge plays out. But major claim at the center of Newsom's case remained unaddressed by the two courts, whether the troops were violating the Posse Contains Act or when they did things like accompany federal agents on raids in Los Angeles area, temporarily detained civilians who tried to enter restricted areas. Breyer decided they had. He said in his ruling Tuesday that the instructions the troops in California, rather collectively known as Task Force 51, were given. That said, they could set up traffic blockades, maintain protective perimeters, or help with crowd control were incorrect. The judge said the troops' presence alongside federal agents which at times rather either match or outnumber those agents, pervaded the activities of those civilian agents. This was intentional. Defendants instigated a months-long deployment of the National Guard Marines to Los Angeles for the purpose of establishing a military presence there and enforcing federal laws. Such conduct is a serious violation of the Posse Contains Act, Breyer wrote. These violations were part of a top-down systematic effort by defendants to use military troops to execute various sectors of federal law, the drug laws, immigration laws, at least across hundreds of miles and over the course of several months and counting. Public has opposed using National Guard when state governors object. Brenner Fissel, the vice president of the National Institute for Military Justice, said while Breyer's ruling has no immediate impact outside California, it's certain to be the first thing other judges who may preside over similar cases will turn to. If I were a district court judge, I'm going to study all of this. And does it bind me? But it's the treatise that you're going to go to, said Fissel, who is also a law professor at Villanova University. It's the most learning on this issue that we have had in decades, and for some of these statutes, it's the only judicial interpretation of the statute, so it's a big deal. District courts, if they disagree with this, they're going to have to explain why they just can't ignore this. Through the number of federalized Guard members still in LA has dwindled just to several hundred in recent weeks. 47's decision to send armed forces to the streets of America's second largest city remains on his more controversial moves this year. In a July CNN poll conducted by SSRS, 59% of Americans said they oppose 47 using National Guard troops, which are typically controlled by state governors in response to immigration protests, even if a state governor does not support the use of those troops. Another 41% support such use of troops. Views were sharply divided along partisan lines, with 85% Republicans favoring the president's use of the National Guard troops over state projections, while 94% Democrats and 66% of independents were opposed. So what do I think about this? Not surprised by this at all. When you have a tyrant, a lunatic, and a waste of life that should have been swallowed by his mother running the country, this is what you get. So if you elect chaos, you get chaos in return. With that being said, I'm going to turn off my camera now because we done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. So it is. Yes, indeed, y'all. So that is pretty much the show. I wanted to come on here and give y'all a show because, like I said yesterday, I really didn't see anything too much to be able to give y'all a show. By the way, I've been seeing the Cardi B stuff. Hopefully, Cardi B does not have to pay a damn thing. Now, if Cardi B did wrong, she did wrong, but I really don't think Cardi did anything wrong. But that's just my outside opinion looking in on this situation. So, with that being said, we're going to take a little commercial break. We'll be back more Brilliance Virtual Tour Live right after this. Roll it.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination and experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and mirrors commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
Video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Introducing the greatest escape in the Caribbean, the island you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Great Life on Great Stirrup Cay. This is the greatest pool you've ever seen life, 28,000 square feet of it, and the epic water park life. It's where you can truly experience the whoa life and the floating through paradise life. It's time to escape to a mind-blowing, sky-high tower of water slides and the Here We Go life. Escape to the one more please wherever you please life and kick it into high gear. Escape to where you can kick back and relax. The great life is waiting. Escape to the incredible new Great Stirrup Cay, only with Norwegian Cruise Line.
I'm loving it.
And I'm loving y'all right back as the fireworks are going off behind us here, everybody, on a live tour. Yes, indeed, we are live on tour. Brain Lee's virtual tour live. Glad to have all you here in the building. What a show that we had tonight. Yes, indeed, we did. Like I said, Karen Huger getting out of jail. Congratulations to her. I can't wait to see how her story will be on Bravo. You know, could she make a comeback? I believe she could. I really, really do. So yes, indeed, there. Like I said, with Martell Holt, he's a piece of shit bastard that should have been swallowed by his fucking mother, Marlene. And to do that with Ariane, that just goes to show that Ariane's not shit. So to really say that you have moved on this, down the third, you haven't moved on, because moving on would be showcasing that in your actions, not just talking hot air. Okay, so there is that. Mr. Beast coming out with a cell phone company or mobile company. Very interesting. I'm sure it'll be called Beast Mobile. I'm sure all his fans will definitely get it for sure. I mean, he's got, 430 million subscribers on YouTube. So, yeah, I think he'll probably get a decent, maybe I'll be generous, 20 million subscribers, I think, to Beast Mobile. Little Rock, Arkansas, getting some love from Travel and Leisure by saying this is the most underrated city in the South. Shout out to Travel and Leisure for giving Little Rock that love. Spirit Airlines, Chapter 11 bankruptcy round 2. Like I said, could Spirit Airlines be bought by Universal? Possibilities there. But also, too, it could be a Black-owned airline. I do believe there was another Black-owned airline before. And there is one Black-owned airline, but I think it's in the West Virgin Islands, if I'm not mistaken, because I think we covered them here on Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. Stephen A. Smith getting into the radio once again. He was on Sirius XM, but now he's back. He's on Mad Dog Radio, and he'll be on the POTUS channel. You know, talking politics and pop culture, everything in between. We shall see how it goes. I mean, listen, his mouth is his instrument, and it can create music, or it can create tracks that should never be heard. So that is that on Stephen A. Smith. With Wendy Williams, I think that doing a tour on this topic is absolutely wonderful. And I do think that this topic definitely needs to be talked about by somebody. And I definitely believe that Wendy Williams would absolutely be fabulous in that area. I truly, truly, truly do. And I'm sending nothing but love, prayers, and blessings to Wendy, because Kelvin Jr., you know, that's his mom. So, you know, everybody deserves their mom, right? And then finally, politics by 47 breaking the law, and Secretary Pete Hesh breaking the law. No surprise there. When you elect chaos, that's what you get in return, chaos. So, and not to mention too, like, is anybody really surprised by anything that has happened up to this point? And this is just year one, okay? If everybody wasn't done what they were supposed to do on November 4th, we wouldn't be in this mess, but you know, it's too late to apologize. You know, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. So yes, indeed here. So we'll take it up to 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then we'll head on out here. I'll give y'all the daily motivator, and then we'll head on out. But a great, great show for you all. Like I said, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., brand new show for you all, of course, depending on what's going on. I'm gonna try to play it by ear, because I did like the fact that we got to cover the Disney announcements, even though it really wasn't really anything big to go over. But you know, sometimes doing a single destination at 11 a.m. does help the production schedule. But nonetheless, you guys will get that. And then, of course, part 2 of 90 Day Fiancé Hunt for Love. I do believe it is a part I believe so. So we shall see if it is a 2-part reunion or if it's a 3-part reunion. You know what I mean? So we shall see on that. So yes, indeed. There. So yeah. Almost there to the 1 hour and 30-minute mark here, and then I'll give y'all the daily motor there and then head on out. So thank you guys for the 4 likes. I appreciate y'all. Yes, indeed, I do. That's the one thing about this show. You think you know what's going to be talked about until I come on live. And that keeps the randomness to the highest peak of capacity. All right, y'all. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let me get y'all the daily motivator up here, and then we'll head on out here. Here we go. For art for art's sake, with no purpose for any purpose, perverts art, but art achieves a purpose which is not its own. Benjamin Constant. Absolutely. It is time for the daily motivator for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. Creative, empowering thoughts. Make note of what's wrong, but refuse to dwell on it. Once you're aware of the problem, move quickly to do something positive about it. Direct your focus on the steps you can take to make things right. Challenge yourself to develop a realistic, useful perspective that transforms the problem into an opportunity. There's no value in getting stressed out about how bad things might be or might become. Draw motivation and enthusiasm from being in position and in action to make a difference. When a frustration, problem, annoyance, or distraction comes along, step back and observe what you are thinking. Fill your mind with creative, empowering thoughts that point you in the direction of achievement. Sorry there, y'all. Give me a moment. I really, really like this chair. Sorry. Give me a moment. I'll get back to our motivator here in just a minute. Okay, there we go. All right. Back to the motivator here. Make room for these positive thoughts. Let go of the thoughts that intensify your doubts, worries, and fears. Yes, stay in touch with reality, but also give preference to the thoughts that you can act upon that create value in the world. Whatever you envision determines where you go. Get yourself clearly and acutely focused on the best possibilities and fulfill them in the way you live your life, Ralph Moore. So I'm going to read that one more time because I did click that ad. So here we go. Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, creative, empowering thoughts. Make note of what's wrong, refuse to dwell on it. Once you're aware of the problem, move quickly to do something positive about. Direct your focus on the steps you can take to make things right. Challenge yourself to develop a realistic, useful perspective that transforms the problem into an opportunity. There's no value in getting stressed out about how bad things might be or might become. Draw motivation and enthusiasm from being in position and in action to make a difference. When a frustration, problem, annoyance, or distraction comes along, step back and observe what you are thinking. Fill your mind with creative, empowering thoughts that point you in the direction of achievement. To make room for those positive thoughts, let go of thoughts that intensify your doubts, worries, and fears. Just stay in touch with reality, but also give preference to the thoughts that you can act upon to create value in the world. Whatever you envision determines where you go. Get yourself clearly and keep you focused on the best possibilities and fulfill them in the way you live your life, Ralph Wilson. You know, sincerely, I think about this every day with my thoughts, right? I truly think about this every day with my thoughts. And y'all know the scripture that I often say, as a man thinketh, so is he. So you can't think negativity and expect positivity, right? And creative and empowering, they go together, right? So you never hear creative and negative, right? So I want you to recognize that it's all about your mind. I want you to recognize it. That's the first thing I'll say. The second thing is, when a frustration, problem, annoyance, or distraction comes along, step back and observe what you are thinking. Being able to be still is truly a gift. My mom taught me that such a long time ago, and I don't think we are appreciative enough of that gift. I know that sometimes if we are not standing still, we will feel that we're not moving forward. But I would suggest to you that being still, for you to recognize what needs to matter, allows you to move forward in a more positive fashion. That's the second thing I'll tell you. And finally, yes, stay in touch with reality, but also give preference to the thoughts that you can act upon that create value in the world. There's a quote I often say, never get so high in the clouds that you forget that you had to use the ground to get there, right? So basically that means, stay in touch with the ground that allows you to take flight. But also, too, make sure that as you are in the skies of what can be, that where you're going in terms of your mind, make sure that there's a positive end to your process of thinking. If you can remember that, you're always are taking flight to what can be. And with that being said, everybody, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. What the hell? Child. I'm going to read it one more time because I am... Okay. Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. Creative and empowering thoughts. Make note of what's wrong, but refuse to dwell on it. Once you're aware of the problem, move quickly to do something positive about it. Put your focus on the steps you can take to make things right. Challenge yourself to develop a realistic, useful perspective that transfers the problem into an opportunity. There's no value in getting stressed about how bad things might be or might become. Draw motivation, enthusiasm from being in position and in action to make a difference. When a frustration, problem, annoyance, or distraction comes along, step back and observe what you are thinking. Fill your mind with creative, empowering thoughts that point you in the direction of achievement. To make room for those positive thoughts, let go of thoughts that intensify your doubts, worries, and fears. Yes, stay in touch with reality, but also give preference to the thoughts that you can act upon to create value in the world. Wherever you envision determines wherever you go. Get yourself clearly and acutely focused on the best possibilities and fulfill them in the way you live your life, Ralph Molson. So with that being said, the three thoughts that I had relating to this is time for the best outro on YouTube. Damn it. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing and treasure. You may not be where you want to be, but at the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Last one thing to call yourself is nothing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. And hopefully, by spending time together, we'll also be great together. And always remember, your radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you're just recognizing that, listen, at the beginning, middle, end of the day, while your assignment may change, that doesn't mean your purpose has to. Make sure the replay is not just right for you watching, not just right for you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again, I love you, I value, I embrace you all. Always remember, or see what you got to give it, or see what you got to give it, or see what you got to give it, or obstacles you have overcome, where success you have achieved upon this particular day. I'm extremely proud of you, but no one's proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, listen. I want you to know that in times of doubt, it's okay to be afraid. I really get uneasy with people who they somehow always have a frequency of not recognizing the real that's in front of them. And if you've never been afraid before, I worry for you, because I'm just like, do you know what that feels like to be worried? And fear can run you, or you can run your fear. And just because you are feeling that energy doesn't mean that's over for you. And I have to remember every day for all the possibilities that could have happened to me. I'm still here. For all the possibilities that could have happened to you, you are still here. For all the possibilities that happened to all of us as a people, that could have happened to us as a people, we are still here. Recognize that just because fear is in you doesn't mean that it has a hold over you. You are in control of that. And always remember that. Commercial break and fireworks are coming your way for the day. That was for the day. That's come for the blessings not only for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. Love you all. Good night. Oh, I feel the love and send it right back to you. Now, good night, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make.
Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.